Our next speaker is Jeremy Williams. Mr. Williams is the head of human resources at a local company. He is the proud father of 3 and is also a concerned citizen who was ready to take his involvement in taking back of our country to the next level. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Jeremy Williams.
Hello, Guilford County. I tell you what, it is exciting to be here, to take a look out here and see this crowd and see so many proud, patriotic Americans gathered in one place. It tells me and reinforces what I already know to be true, and that is American exceptionalism is not dead. My name is Jeremy Williams, and I'm proudly married to my wonderful wife, Donna. I'm a proud father of 3 amazing children, my 11-year-old son, Garrett, my 7-year-old son, Harrison, and my 11-month baby little girl, Charlotte. Wow, what a difference a year makes. It was 1 year ago today that I sat on the back wall there attending my first Tea Party. I have voted since I was 18. I've tried to pay attention to what was going on. However, about 3 years ago, I started to become very concerned with the direction our country and our community was going. I started to listen, read, and dig beneath just the headlines. There were times I asked myself, did anyone else see what I saw? Was I alone in all of this? I started talking with my friends and family a little bit more about what was going on, and that led to me starting to post a whole lot online. I'd heard the reports of concerned citizens gathering in groups all over the country, and they gathered together to speak out, and that's when I found out about the Tax Day Tea Party right here in Greensboro last year. And needless to say, I can tell you one thing, my life has not been the same since. So it's tax day again. And I know all of us are proud Americans, and we have no problem paying a reasonable amount to fund the proper and limited role of government. But when is enough enough? The price of food and gas and just about everything else seems to keep going up. Our government keeps spending and digging us deeper into debt, and our children, sooner or later, the bill has to come due. And I believe that time is now. All of us have been impacted by this and have had to come up with a budget and live within our means. My wife and I just had our 3rd child, and it would be nice, and I mean truly a nice thing, to be able to go and buy a larger house. A little bit of extra space would go a long way now with 3 kids. But one thing that I can't do is I can't go to my boss and go, boss, hey, as you know, I just had that 3rd kid. It would be a really nice thing if we lived in a larger house, so I got to demand you give me a big raise. Real life doesn't quite work like that. Is it too much to expect that our government learn to live within its means? Anybody remember these signs here? Last November, we were bombarded with these things. They say a quarter cent makes sense. Well, it didn't make much sense to me then, and it makes even less sense to me now. This was the 3rd time the county commissioners had put a sales tax increase on the ballot, and the 3rd time we, the citizens of Guilford County, said no, no more taxes. There are some on the Board of Commissioners that want the power to not have to go through the hassle of going to the voters to raise our sales taxes. I guess they didn't like what we had to say, and so now they just simply want to bypass us. Now, in the county manager's proposed budget, there is an 8.5% property tax increase in her proposed budget. Let me ask you, Guilford County, aren't you taxed enough already? Yeah. What say you to another tax increase? No. They didn't hear you when you voted, so let's make them hear us now. I'll ask one more time. Guilford County, are you okay with another tax hike? No. Neither am I. In the early days of the Revolutionary War, a pastor by the name of John Peter Muhlenberg, who pastored 2 churches in Virginia. He got up in front of his congregation, and I'll paraphrase a bit here. He said, "Brethren, our forefathers came to this country in pursuit of freedom. If we do not act now, we will lose that freedom forever." With that, he tore off his black pastoral robes and revealed the uniform of an officer in the Continental Army. He stepped out onto the porch of his church, recruited 300 men in arms, led them not as their chaplain, but as their commanding officer. Later in the war, he was promoted to the rank of Major General. His brother, also an ordained minister, was the president of the Constitutional Convention, and he became the first Speaker of the House in the government, the newly formed government that the Constitution created. These great patriots acted upon their convictions, and they were a vital part in establishing our great country that we are now blessed with today. Yes, American exceptionalism is still alive. However, the time for us to act to preserve it is now. There are groups of concerned citizens that regularly attend and speak at Guilford County Commissioner meetings, and they are currently going through the budget. We need all of you to show up on Thursday, April 28th and Thursday, May the 5th, right there in the old courthouse at 5:30. Let them know that you're not in favor of another tax hike and that they must spend within their means. Last year, as I sat back there in the back wall with my oldest son, Garrett, I was able to answer one question that had been nagging me. I was not alone. Look around you. Do you feel alone now? It's a powerful thing to know that you're not alone, and it has had a truly big impact on me. I met so many wonderful patriots that shared some of the very same concerns that I had. There were so many opportunities to get involved and make a difference. I do believe that God has granted us all with our own special gifts and abilities. He also granted us the choice as to how and when to use them. I had felt convicted for some time to get involved and do something more than just merely blogging. One question that kept going through my mind and speaking to my heart is that if I knew what was coming and I knew the direction we were going, 10, 15 years from now, could I look into my children's eyes and could I say, "I'm sorry. It happened on my watch, but Daddy was too tired. Daddy was too busy," or what could one person really do? The answer that came back to me loud and clear is absolutely not. I could never hold that conversation. I knew then it was time for me to get off the wall and to do something more. You're probably here today because you care about what is going on and you are as concerned as I am. What is your God-given talent and ability? Are you ready to put it to use? And what are you doing to better your community and your country? I encourage you to look around and connect with other concerned citizens and groups that are here today and get involved. Get involved with your local government and show up to the meetings and be heard. The first time I spoke at the county commissioners meeting, I congratulated 5 commissioners on their victories. Now, then, of course, all 5 of them ran unopposed. I made a pledge that night, and I said, don't get used to it. It won't happen again. I intend on keeping good on that pledge, and it is with a sincere conviction and a firm reliance from my Creator that I'm taking that next step in this journey, and I intend to run for Guilford County Commissioner at large in 2012.